Hello, my name is Muhammad Afiz Shauki bin Ma'asri. Student ID 2021-209258.
Okay, Assalamualaikum. My name is Muhammad Alif bin Muhammad Zainuddin. My student ID is 2021-855056.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Arif Iskandar bin Syafi'i. My student ID is 2021206914.
Hi, Assalamualaikum. So I am Muhammad Atif Darwish bin Muhammad Ahir. My student ID 2021450308.
The content of presentation that is available in this video is the first one, the distribution of work. Second one is the introduction. Third one is the safety equipment and technique. Fourth is the manufacturing step process. Fifth is the problem faces and how to overcome. And the last one is the discussion of the project.
So, in this project, we are going to make a turbine by the item given. The items are one cylinder and two plate method. We will conduct some machining process such as turning to make square plate to circle, milling to make slot and hole at the middle, drilling plus joining process such as welding. In this project, we were wearing some safety equipment while do machining process like safety glasses, safety jacket, suitable pants like jeans, safety boots, and add on safety glove and face shield for welding.
What is turning? Turning is a machining process where a lathe is used to rotate a metal while a cutting tool moves in a linear motion to remove metal along the diameter, creating a cylindrical shape. The cutting tool can be angled differently to create a different form. So in our project, which is turbine project, we do the turning process to do a cylindrical shape in the road, so it will fix in the turbine project. Cutting process is include the sawing process. Sawing is a process wherein a narrow slit is cut into a workpiece by a tool consisting of a series of narrowly spaced teeth called a saw blade. Sawing is used to separate work parts into two or more pieces or to cut off an unwanted section of a part. This process are often called cut-off operation, and since many manufacturing projects require cut-off operation at some point in the production sequence, sawing is an important manufacturing process. Basically, sawing is a simple process. As the blade moves past the work, each tool takes a cut, depending on the thickness of diameter of the work. The number of teeth cutting at one time varies from 2 or 10 or more.
For both of the steel plates, we drill 4 holes on the steel plates. We used a 3mm diameter drill bit for the drilling process. We mount the drill bit and steel plates on the bench drill. Then we proceed to drill the steel plates with caution to avoid injuries an error on the steel plates by locking the steel plates in place. After that, we proceed to milling. We mount the steel plates on the milling machine. To find the center of the steel plates, we use the tool to adjust the milling bit. We put the milling bit on the machine and make sure the milling bit is tightened properly. The milling bit used is 10 mm in radius. We elevate the table to set the milling bit and steel plates for cutting. We cut into the steel plates slowly to avoid the milling bit and steel plates from breaking. After milling, we proceed to tapping. To thread the steel plates, we used M4 threading bit. We mount the first threading bit on the hand tap wrench. Then, we spray the holes on the steel plates with WD-40. This is to give a smooth tapping. Then, we thread the holes slowly and carefully to avoid breaking the thread bit. After that, we proceed tapping by using second and third threading bit with the same process.
So we go to the milling. Milling is the process of machining using rotary cutters to remove material by advancing a cutter into a workpiece. This may be done by varying direction on one or several axes, cutter head speed and pressure. Milling covers a wide variety of different operations and machines, on scales from a small individual parts to large, heavy-duty gang and milling operation. It is one of the most commonly used process for machining custom parts to precise tolerance. In a turbine project, we use a milling process to do a drain, which is the drain is in 30 degree. So we need to do milling on the surface of workpiece to do a drain. So every slot that we are milling, we will put the workpiece that we are doing the sewing process before this. So that's all.
For turning process on the plate, firstly, put the plate to the cylinder and tighten it. Next, put the cylinder to the spindle and tighten it. Adjust the cylinder close to the dead center on the machine and it's ready to be cut. Cut the plate till the shape becomes a curl.
For the welding process, it consists of before the process, during the process, and after the process of the welding. For before started the welding, we have to make sure that we wear the safety equipment during the welding, and we also have to make sure that the turbine is in the assemble so it will be easier to weld. Next, during the welding, during the welding, we have to be careful to not weld the upper part of the turbine and also to not weld the screw, so the upper part of the turbine can be disassembled. And lastly, after the welding, after done the welding, we have to make sure that all the required part is tightly secure with the weld. Next is the slag removing process. So slag is the remaining flux that form over the weld bit as the weld area cool. So after we finish the welding, we remove the slag on top of the welding spot by using the chipping hammer. This is so the turbine will become more smooth and clean.
For finishing, we grind our workpiece by using grinder. This is to remove rust on the workpiece and remove overweld on the surface of the workpiece. We turn on the grinder and roll the grind abrasive a little bit to start the rotation of the grinder. We then proceed to grind the workpiece carefully to avoid injury and to avoid over grinding our workpiece.
So this is the final product that we fabricate together in 6 weeks, a turbine. The result after having been through measuring, sewing, turning, milling, drilling, threading or tapping, finishing, and all the problem we face.
Next, we go to the problem faces during the process and the way to overcome it. So the first problem is when we buy the wrong size of thread bit and drill bit. So the way we overcome it was by buying the new threading bit and milling bit with a corrected size. So the second one is when the thread is broken during the threading. So the way we overcome it was by using proper step, which is start with the first step, then second step, and lastly the final step. So the third one is when the 3mm milling bit become dull during the milling of the slot. So the way we overcome it was by sharpen the tip of the milling bit. The fourth is when the plate is not tightened enough during the turning, resulting the plate moving during the turning. So the way we overcome it was by stopping the turning machine and tighten the plate before continuing. And lastly is when we doing the wrong welding, which is when we not assemble the part first before weld. So the way we overcome it was we assemble it first before continuing the weld.
So now we go to the discussion. So for the discussion, what we need to improve first is about a measurement. We need to measure the workpiece wisely to minimize the error. Secondly, we need to put a fan to cool down when we are in welding process. The lastly is about milling process, which is we need always to be aware to make sure the cutting tool will not break, and we need to do with carefully and patient, so we will get the good result of the project.